Hey, Giant fans. Welcome to the second consecutive winning podcast, baby. My name is Jerry Foley. I'm the senior editor of the Giant Insider newspaper. And with me, as always, returning victorious from MetLife Stadium for the first time this year as the Giants finally won a home game for their home crowd who pays way too much for PSLs and tickets. My man, Chris Bisignano. What's up, buddy?
Jerry F., how you doing, my man? Good Monday, right?
Oh
Nice, glorious
awesome.
Monday.
Unbelievable. And to make matters better, I will say it, the team in Philadelphia suffered the worst loss for a Super Bowl champion the following year by losing by 41 to the New Orleans Saints. So you know what? Yesterday, Giants were number one. The Eagles' loss was 1A. What an incredible Sunday. The first one we've had in, I don't know, man, 2 years maybe.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, the Eagles got humiliated, and even their stupid safety was pointing his middle finger at Peyton at the end. And it's all coming apart down there in Philadelphia. There, it really is. I mean, they are looking really bad. They're decimated in the back end, and I love it. You know, the more turmoil, the better. Eagle fans already think Peterson stinks.
No, they were calling into WIP today, and they were talking about how Carson Wentz is not what they thought they were, what he was. I mean, I'm just like, you people are out of your minds, man. Yeah. And, I always say I turn on WIP sometimes because the show in the morning on the other station in New York, they don't really cover the Giants, and when the Giants win, it's like a morgue there, right? It's or a funeral home where they don't want to talk about the Giants, they only want to talk about the Jets, Mets, Yankees. So when the Giants win, that show in the morning is kind of depressing. So I'll flip over to WIP, and I mean, I was entertained by those lunatic fans, man.
You know, it's funny, that other station you're talking about, Jerry. So when the Giants win a game, you know what they do? They look for something. They look for something, some kind of antics from a player or something that happened during the game.
Yeah.
So the Giants come up with a win yesterday, you know, the 2 in a row, and the whole deal. Everybody's feeling good. And a certain ex-quarterback is talking about Landon Collins punching the net on the sideline.
Yeah, what happened there? Because you were there. It looked like he went into concussion protocol. Then he got – I don't know if he was mad that he was in there. What happened there?
Yes. What happened was Landon told me directly. He got hit by Fitzpatrick.
Oh, yeah, where he tackled him low. Yeah, right.
He tackled him low. He gets hit in the head by Fitzpatrick on the touchdown dive there by Fitz. Collins, in disgust, was shaking his head. People, either the spotter or the sideline, said that he was shaking his head because he got, his bell rung.
Oh, okay.
Collins comes to the sideline. They throw him into that tent. Okay? All right?
Yeah.
So he comes out of the tent. He's trying to explain to them that he was just shaking his head because he was pissed off. Of course, they don't want to hear that because the NFL players always say, I'm fine. Right? So he comes off. They come out of the tent, and they tell him, now you got to go to the locker room to get checked for further tests. He was so pissed off that he had to come out of the game knowing that he was fine, that he just got pissed, and he punched the tent in disgust. Why, he told me? Because I didn't want to miss any snaps.
So what you're telling me is the kid was playing with passion and actually wanted to be on the field for the Giants, right?
Yeah. Okay. So
because when Tom Brady does it, or when Carson Wentz did it yesterday, it was, he's a winner. He wants to win. But when Landon Collins does it, he's a head case.
Right. So this is the type of guy I want, Jerry. I don't know about you, but I love Landon Ford. He's a passionate player. He doesn't want to miss a snap for his team. He was pissed off. He had to go in the locker room to get checked further because he knew he was fine. And what is he? I mean, and then you got an ex-quarterback on the morning show who's acting like he never played this game.
Right.
Like there's no, like he doesn't know what the passion, the intensity that's going on, the emotion that's going on the sidelines of an NFL football game.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, is he kidding me? This guy Boomer? Is he kidding me? Because a guy punched the net and all of a sudden, like, he's a problem. Oh, I can't believe it. But Tom Brady's smashing helmets every week. Who's giving a middle finger to a coach? Who's slamming his helmet down in disgust and Wentz? Okay? Listen, Boomer, maybe, when you talk to your sidekick there, that other guy, whatever his name is, that young kid, 29-year-old, who only started watching football about 4 years ago or something, maybe when you talk to him about that, he believes your nonsense. But, dude, guess what? I remember back in the 70s, Jerry, guys were fist fighting on the sidelines. Guys were smashing benches, Gatorade buckets. Back then it was called water buckets. Water buckets. Okay, and the Oakland Raiders, they did everything short of carry handguns on the sideline. Are you kidding me?
Oh,
it's just, I guess because Landon Collins is a giant, we have to nitpick at Landon punching in that. You know what, bud? This is the type of guys I want on my team. I want guys like that.
And, Chris, a lot of people, and I think we've talked about this before, they speculate as to what's going on in that locker room. And for everyone listening, Chris is in the locker room, right? You got a press pass. You're there all the time. You spend more time with the Giants than you do with your wife and kids. And everybody thanks you for that, buddy. But you're in there. You're like you always said about, there's turmoil with Odell. And you always say, the Giants don't like Odell. The teammates love him, right? So when they say things like, this player's acting up, that player, I'm sure there's a locker room issue, you must laugh at some of this because it's complete BS. It's complete crap, and they're speculating about it.
Absolutely. That's why I sent that Bart Scott tweet out a couple of weeks ago that went viral. The guys like Papa and Banks, they all responded to it. It's because don't say something, that you have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And talk about a guy showing passion on silent because he punched the net.
Yeah.
I mean, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It's just, I love how these guys are on the radio now. They've been in the media for a long time, and they act like they didn't play. Like they have no idea about the intensity that's going on in these NFL games.
Yep.
I mean, now we're going to get on Landon, because the guy doesn't want to miss a snap and he's pissed off. But you're going to let other guys get away with it, Boomer? You're going to let Tom Brady smash his helmet? How about when Tom Brady wanted to fist fight Bill O'Brien on the sidelines years ago? Huh? How about when he was going at it with Josh McDaniels, which he does like twice a year? That's okay, Boomer? But Landon Collins, not okay. It's hypocrisy, Jerry, and I'm sick of it.
Yeah, you're right. And we saw it yesterday. We saw it with Carson Wentz. But hey, listen, let's put that aside. Let's talk about the awesome win, my friend. And look, there's a lot of flaws to this game. We'll get to the bad stuff, but let's talk about the good.
Mm-hmm.
And I think first, I don't even know where to begin with the good, but I guess we'll start with a certain running back that we took in the first round who has turned into everything Giant fans have wanted and more. Mm-hmm. And, again, the radio talking heads always told me or said to the public, he can't run between the tackles. He bounces everything to the outside. Well, you know what? Yesterday he ran between the tackles 27 times for 142 yards. Scored 3 touchdowns, 1 receiving, so 2 receptions for 10. Ridiculous talent, ridiculous kid. Blamed himself on the one bad Eli throw. I mean, Chris, not to constantly sing this kid's praises, but I mean, he is more than we could have imagined, I think. And from a playing standpoint to a professional standpoint, everything about this kid is absolutely perfect right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, how could you not love him? It's true. When he came out of Penn State, he could just bounce it outside. I mean, it's such nonsense. He's been running between the tackles all year, and yesterday he made a concentrated effort to not give away carries, which meaning that he took the 4 or 5 yards instead of trying to kick it outside. Shermer and Mike Shula have been working with him, going over film about certain plays he kicks out when you might have a 3-4 yard gain in a hole. In a little hole at least, anyway. Inside, between the tackles is what I mean, basically.
Yeah.
So you saw that yesterday. He was concentrating on hitting it between the tackles. And how about that run down at the 2-yard line where he just put his head down, steamrolled into the end zone?
Yeah, I mean, he runs hard. And this was something I didn't – everyone was skeptical about that. They said, well, the one thing he doesn't do is he doesn't run very hard between the tackles. And, man – maybe he learned it quickly. Maybe he's always done it, or maybe it was when he was in college. He was just faster than everybody, so he just figured I'll bounce it to the outside and score.
Yeah, because in college he was getting away with it, Jerry, and he's adjusted in this league where he knows he can't get away with it all the time, and he has to take stuff between the tackles. And I love, the experts. He can't run between the tackles. He's not strong enough. He's not built like that. People, have you ever stood next to Saquon Barkley? He's built like a truck.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think you called him a fire hydrant.
Yeah, he's built like a fire hydrant. Right. I mean, to say he can't go between the tackles, he's not strong enough for this and that. Are you kidding me? I mean, just oh my god! And these people are getting paid for these opinions. It's scary. It really is. But he showed yesterday how he could run between the tackles, how he could leap defenders, how he could go outside if he has to, how he could run routes. The kid's a phenomenal talent, pal. He's going to have over 1,000 yards behind a very mediocre offensive line.
He has an outside shot at 1,000 rushing and 1,000 receiving. So,
well, he's got 7-something now, right? Rushing?
Yeah.
So with 6 games left, he should do it.
Yeah, and then he's got 5, the high 5s receiving, I believe.
Right.
I have to look
and you know what? You can see, Jerry, that Coach Shermer he's made it a little more of an effort to make sure his kid gets the ball 20 rushes a game. Of course, not every game is different. That doesn't mean he's going to get 20 Sunday against the Eagles. I'm just saying you could see Shermer's feeding him the rock.
Yeah, and I'll say this. I'll say this for it. There were times during the season already where we said, look, he's got to get the ball more. I mean, you can't give him the ball 13 times. But yesterday was an easy one because from the get-go, the running game worked. And why did it work? Well, they picked up somebody from the Rams a couple weeks ago who looks like the best right guard they've had in 3, 4, 5 years. I don't know.
Since Chris Snee.
Yeah, right. Since Chris Snee, right. And that kind of leads into the game that Eli had, and we can go over the offensive line as well. But, man, I mean, this is what we envisioned, right? This is what Gettleman and Shermer probably envisioned when they said Eli still has game left. 17 of 18 for 233, 2 touchdowns, no picks, and again, the one bad pass was to Barkley. I mean, Eli could have lied and said it was a back shoulder throw, and I think I would have believed him. But he admitted he underthrew the ball. But I mean, he was on all day. Got sacked 4 times, but I mean, he was just so on target. He was able to step up in the pocket. And this is what we thought we'd have, right? This is the Eli that we thought we would see this year. But the reason we didn't see it before was because the offensive line was so bad. Now, please explain to everyone, because it's brilliant, the difference that Brown makes and how just really adding the right guard that we did is kind of leading to all this success for Eli.
Yeah, see, Jamon Brown is making Spencer Pulley, Will Hernandez, Chad Wheeler much better. Why, you say? Oh, how could that be? Okay. He's even making Nate Solder better. Why? Because Nate Solder loves to push a rushing edge guy outside the quarterback's shoulder. He pushes him out. That's his style. So when Eli sees that, now he could step up. As you saw yesterday, he did it numerous times. He's sliding up, sliding to his right a little bit. Why could he do that? Because there's not a push in his face.
So when you had Patrick Omame there or John Greco, everyone's getting – so as Solder's pushing the defensive end back, Manning can't step up because the tackles are right in his face because of how bad the blocking was in the interior. Right. So it's not like Solder got better overnight. It's Jamon Brown makes that much of a difference. The guards are playing better. Will Hernandez is playing better because he's got more experience. Eli can step up now, and that's what I think we saw yesterday.
Right. We talked about it, Jerry, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, how Tom Brady saved Nate Solder of a lot of sacks because he shifts with his feet. He steps up. He steps to the right. You saw that with Eli yesterday. Eli was doing it yesterday.
Yeah.
He's able to do it now because there's not a guy in his face steamrolling the center or the right guard. Okay? So it's a huge difference. See the little things in his game? It's a huge difference. So Eli he's more comfortable in the pocket. I know he got sacked 4 times yesterday, but Jerry, that had to be the quietest 4 sacks of the year, right?
It really was. I was shocked when I saw that stat. I thought it was 1. I forgot that JPP got there twice.
Yeah, JPP got there twice.
The one he tripped, man.
The one he tripped. The one time he beat Solder clean in an inside move. Yeah. It was a good sack, but a nice sack by JPP. And another one was like a little bit of a coverage sack, but it was close. Where actually Jamon Brown got run over by McCoy a little bit. But it was a very quiet 4 sacks where you say to yourself, everybody said to themselves, wow, we gave up 4 sacks? Because in the previous games, they gave up 3, 4 sacks, and he was under siege about 15 more times. Right. That wasn't the case yesterday. You could tell Eli's way more comfortable in the pocket the last few weeks, and you see it in his play. There's no question about it.
Well, what was amazing, I thought, was that he hit 9 different receivers, and I guess first we'll start with Odell. He's pretty good, right?
He's not bad. I think we got to keep it here with this 13. You know, I mean, I understand he's a disruptive talent. He ruins locker rooms. He's getting. As a matter of fact, Jerry, I'm up in the press box yesterday. I didn't think he was on the team. I thought he was on the Browns. I thought he got traded.
Yeah, that was another suggestion made on that stupid show. Yes.
Yeah, no. Well, according to sources.
Right.
According to sources on a radio morning host, Browns were all in. They were about to get him.
Now, the hypocrisy there, what's amazing to me, Chris, is Manish Mehta, when he covered, I don't know if he still covers the Jets or not,
God.
he always said an unnamed source, and it drove Boomer crazy. It drives those guys crazy. Yeah. And then he sits there, Boomer says an unnamed source. Like, come on, man. Like, are you, you're doing the same thing you hate, and I have a lot of issues with stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you my source, who I'm not going to name, okay? Mara was pissed after the ESPN thing, okay?
Yeah.
He got over it.
Yeah.
Mara got over it. Odell is maturing after Mara had a little talk with him at the ESPN's incident. Odell is trying every week. Odell's going nowhere, Jerry. Okay?
Yeah, and one of the things, the media kind of got on him about let's win 8 straight, and I thought, what else would you want from one of your star players? Like, why not try to win 8 straight? They're mathematically alive. Who the hell cares? Go for it. And for people to jump on it, and the other guy in the morning said he's going to get a tattoo of Eli on his butt or something stupid. And come on, man, like give the kid a break. Let's see what the Giants can do here. They're the hometown team. I've already said this before, man. We're the only team I think in America where we don't have a hometown like radio support system supporting us. But whatever.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. It is what it is over there, bud.
Yeah, but hey, man, someone else I was really happy for yesterday. He only had 2 catches, but one of them I thought was kind of the clincher of the day was Evan Ingram. And he's got a ton of talent. You saw the speed yesterday. And I also saw a seam pass, which I loved from Eli. Eli likes throwing the seam. Threw it up the seam. It was about a 15-yard pass, hit Ingram in stride. And, man, did he show that 4.4 speed. It was a 54-yard gain down to the 11. And you think, man, if this kid can just put it together, you have to think he's gaining some confidence. Had 2 balls thrown to him, 2 catches. One where he jumped the defender, and I think they got the field goal because of it. Evan Ingram, he's got to get more involved, and I loved what I saw yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday you saw what an athletic freak he is, man. Yeah. I tell you, when he caught that little seam there yesterday, and he took off, man, what? Do you see the speed on him, man? And yesterday, and the other plays leaping over a guy. He looked like he was doing a high jump in the Olympics, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, he's caught the ball the last few weeks. He's come up big late in games, right? At the end of the 49er game and the end of this game, Evan has been a huge factor, He's a talented kid, Jerry. Listen, we all know that. His big problem is he has drops.
Yeah.
We all know that.
Yep.
That's his issue. All right? He has drops.
Yep.
Hasn't had the last few weeks. He works on his game. Hopefully he overcomes that, because you see what a weapon he is. Great little play action there by Eli. A little play action. I think it was the Barkley firing that bullet over to Ingram. Well executed play, man.
There was a small play that I don't know if people are going to remember, but I loved it because of the progression that Eli went through. And I know he's 37 years old, but he rolled out. His first option was covered. And then all of a sudden, Red Ellison runs underneath. He throws it to him and gains 12. And I thought, this is what you have to do. This is what we need to do. Now, the first read's not always going to be there. Maybe the guy's covered. But that's what Red Ellison's there for. And when I saw that play, I just thought, oh, game on, man. Offense is on today. And I was so excited. And it was, just, again, a very inconspicuous play. But I thought it was representative of what this offense can be if the offensive line can hold up. It's all about the offensive line holding up. And it looks like, if you want to give an offensive MVP, the obvious answer is Saquon Barkley. But I'll tell you what, if you had 100 people, 10 of them would vote for Brown right now. So,
yeah, everybody wants him signed. Long-term deal already.
It's so funny. I've never seen so many GMs on Twitter sign him now. And I'm laughing because I agree. They're like, oh, we have to sign him long-term. I'm like, we literally saw 2 games. And people are like, oh, you got to open up the ball for this kid. You got to sign him because that's how desperate Giant fans are for a good offensive line. So I can't blame them.
Yeah. Well, he's going to be in for a nice test this week when Mr. Fletcher Cox comes.
We're not going to have negative thoughts yet. We're going to hold
lines
off.
Up against him. But I tell you what, Jerry, just quickly on the offensive line, looking at the film today, the tape, I tell you what, Spencer Pulley, Will Hernandez, and Nate Solder were excellent in run blocking yesterday. Excellent.
And you liked Pulley. You said he started all the games for every game for the Chargers last year. You've been singing his praises since preseason.
Yeah, listen, he's not he's not a Pro Bowl center, but he's a very serviceable player. He played well for the Chargers last year.
Yeah.
And he's been pretty good for us. I was watching him over and over on the running plays yesterday, and he had a couple of real nice blocks. Will Hernandez was unbelievable in run blocking yesterday, and so was Nate Solder. So it's a positive sign, Jerry.
And he's one guy, Hernandez. I never worried about him yet, man. Everybody's like, "Oh, he's not as good as they thought." I'm like, he's a rookie. Went from UTEP to the NFL. Like, give me a break. They were 0-13 last year for UTEP or 0-12, whatever they were. He's going to be fine. You got to give him time.
Listen, Jerry, he's getting better and better. Sherman talked about that too. He's been getting better and better. He's a top 15 ranked guard in PFF.
So the first two picks were Barkley and Hernandez. That's a home run and a stand-up double right now for Gettleman. So.
Oh, no question. And his third round picks are like doubles too, right? I mean, Carter's
and that'll bring us to the defense. Mm-hmm. Good Lord, where do we begin with this defense? I guess we'll start at the line and make our way back. The pass rush is non-existent, my friend. And I like B.J. Hill. I like Tomlinson. I like Wynn. I like Morrow. They're all nice players. But this is what we talk about for next year when everyone says, oh, you got to root for him to tank. Guys, we need a pass rusher almost as much as we need an heir apparent to Eli Manning.
Yeah, especially when Olivier does not have a good game. He wasn't even on the stat sheet yesterday. I think he had like one pressure, and he's really the only pass rusher they have. And he wasn't a factor yesterday. Listen, they need an edge guy that can get to the quarterback 8 to 10, 11 times. Bad.
Yeah, and I'm not blaming B.J. Hill. He's a rookie. He's probably hit the wall, kind of.
He's out of soccer anyway.
Right. Right. Dalvin Tomlinson, he's really filling in. He's the new Snacks, basically. That's how I look at it. Josh Morrow had a decent game. Had a couple hurries for. I think he might have. He
had his best game.
Might have hit Fitzpatrick on one of those interceptions. I mean,
he got his arm up in Fitz's face and an air ball he threw that Riley picked off.
Kerrywin left the game with a concussion, but really wasn't doing that much. And I mean, they have nice players on the line, but they need a bona fide pass rusher.
Yes, they do. Because they don't have one right now, and it's really hurting them. What do they have? 11 sacks now for the year, and so. Listen, it's a problem. They're going to have to address that in the offseason. Hopefully they come up with something, Jerry. Hopefully Carter and OV next year are really good off the edges. I don't know. But right now, listen, they just don't get to the quarterback.
Speaking of OV and Carter, we'll get to the linebackers. I was happy to see Ogletree make a very important play in the game. He ran to the play. He made a very good play off of Jenkins, who deflected the ball. But, again, man, not much going on with the linebackers. I thought Connor Barwin was in once or twice. At least I saw him once or twice. He may have been in more than that. But he didn't do anything. OV, he got the and you spoke with him, so I want you to talk about that. He had the personal foul, which I thought was ticky-tack. I mean, their face masks hit. But then he had two offsides penalties in a row. So somebody tweeted, in 0 seconds – he gave up 25 yards. But
it's true.
You talked to OV. What did he say about that?
Yeah, he was he carried over his anger from the roughing the passer call. There's no question about it. He was honest with me about it. I asked him, I said, is it fair to say that maybe those two offsides was a little bit of a carryover from the call? He was like, absolutely. I thought I had the snap count timed. He goes, but it's all on me because I was pissed off because I wanted to make something happen. After the questionable penalty, he didn't even know why he was a penalty. The ref told me he hit the quarterback in the head. I thought he drove him into the ground. That was a call, but it wasn't.
No, it was like their face masks hit.
What did he do? He grazed his face mask or something?
It looked like their face masks hit. He didn't lead with his helmet or anything. It was a stupid call.
Yeah, listen, OV understands that's today's NFL. You got to be very careful. I didn't think it was a penalty, but the ref told me he hit him in the head. So he was pretty upset about it, and his emotions were a little high, carried it over to the next two snaps. Listen, he took blame for it. He wasn't trying to make excuses, but, you can't have that. Cannot have that,
Hey, Kareem Martin got a sack, buddy.
Yeah, I didn't think he still played on the Giants, but he actually had his most active game as a Giant. He actually played a pretty good game yesterday. He made the one bona fide mistake on that run that Barber kicked outside and ran for like 20 yards.
That was terrible.
Martin got sealed up on the edge.
See, that happens to him all the time.
Yeah, so I mean that was strictly him there. And, but you know what? He had the sack, had a pressure, and he made a few plays around the line of scrimmage. So it was actually, I thought it was him and Josh Morrow's best games as a Giant. Josh Morrow was actually lined up over the center at times.
Yeah, he was. That's right.
Because Tomlinson was getting destroyed up front.
Yeah, he was.
He really was. I mean, Tomlinson was getting blown off the ball. We really missed Snacks as far as the run defense. There's no question about it.
Missed Snacks for a lot of reasons. I thought he was such a good dude, great player, and he's one of those ones, man. It's like we traded him. I know why. I get why we traded him. We got a fifth rounder. I understand it, but we're 3-7, man. It's almost like, wait, can we have him back?
Yeah, my ex Matt Patricia, you mind if we get him back because we're trying to go on a run here.
These last 6 games all of a sudden seem very winnable.
Yeah.
But in the backfield, man, I couldn't have been happier for a guy that you like a lot, that follows us on Twitter, retweets us, responds to us. Just a good overall dude that you've interviewed before. Mike Thomas, man. I mean, he had 5 tackles. He had 2 passes defense. He had a huge interception where it wasn't just a Fitzpatrick prayer like Curtis Riley got. Made a good play on the ball. He recovered the onside kick. Mike Thomas, man.
And 4 special team tackles.
Yeah, totally earned his captaincy on special teams. I mean, what a good player. He's got, and we've been saying, like, I know you keep saying that he's the big nickel corner, but I like him as a starting free safety. They're not going to do that, I guess, but man, I was so happy for him. He's a good player, man. If you talk about the free agents that have actually worked, and you tweeted it the other day, that's the one guy that Gettleman got. What a find for the Giants there.
Yeah, Gettleman had a home run with Thomas. We could criticize Gettleman for some of his free agent signings, but you also have to praise him. With when he comes up comes up with a good one. And Mike Thomas, I mean, you know what? I asked Sherman this at the presser yesterday too, Jerry. I said, you guys brought Thomas over basically as a special teams guy.
Yeah.
I bet you put a load on him. And next thing you know, he's playing 29, 30 snaps, 25, 31 snaps, whatever it might be. He's in this big nickel package. He'll play safety sometimes. I bet you moves guys around. And he's been unbelievable. Yesterday I had an interception. I mean, Fitzpatrick, he admitted it, Fitz. He said, I relied on him not turning his head there because most guys won't.
Yeah.
But he took the proper inside leverage coverage, he knew he had to turn his head, squared his shoulders around, and it had a nice play. So Thomas has been a great find, and he's a locker room guy. The younger players love him. So he's been a big plus for the Giants.
Yeah, I don't know the terms of his contract, but just as Giant fans say about Brown, lock that guy up. Lock him up for 4 years.
Loves it here too, Jerry. Loves it here. Loves the team. Loves Shermer. Loves the organization. Doesn't want to go anywhere. He's a Houston kid too, man. So he's not used to this Northeast stuff,
And that's one thing. That's one thing you just brought it up. We've said it all year, and every podcast. We said, for all of his faults, the play calling, whatever. Man, these guys play for Shermer. They did not. They got blown away in one game this year. It was the Eagle game at home. Every other game they were in, and that's why I think now that they're 3-7 and Odell wants to run the table, it's almost like, you know what? They're in every game. I mean, can we really do this? But again, to your point, Thomas plays hard for Shermer. I think they all play hard for Shermer, and I think it's a testament to the professionalism that Shermer brought. But as far as the corners, Janoris Jenkins, B.W. Webb, Grant Haley. Active games, I guess, but they played a lot of hot potato where they didn't come up with the interceptions. But Jenkins getting burned at the end there. Was that on him or Collins or both?
No, that was on Janoris, man. Oh. That was on. I watched the play over and over. He has to stick with Evans there, and you got Landon with help over the top. But Janoris didn't kick him over to Landon. Janoris was with him. He was man under with him, and Landon was supplying the support over top. But Janoris, if you look at it over and over, he just starts backpedaling. He gives a lazy backpedal, okay? And did not concentrate. He gave a half, backpedal, and Evans blew by him. And then when Janoris realized, crap, it was too late. Yeah. He was gone. So very lazy technique, very lazy play by Jackrabbit. Very disappointed in Janoris on that coverage. It looked like either he just lost concentration or it was one of those, it's 38-28, whatever, we got this game. I don't know, man, but it was not a good play by Jackrabbit at all.
41 yards later, it was 38-35.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was before we punted to, I think, Deshaun Jackson, when the fans started booing as soon as he lined up. I mean, we really have the smartest fans in the world, man. As soon as he lined up to get the punt, all you heard was the whole stadium cascaded boos upon him.
And Pat Shermer told he told Dixon, do not punt the ball to this guy. Do not. He goes, Sherman said, I don't care if you put it in the stands.
Right.
Do not punt the ball to Deshaun Jackson.
And I'll be honest, when Dixon kicked it, I thought, are we going to be dumb enough to kick it to him? And he blasted it into the end zone. I was so happy.
Yeah. You mean unlike a certain head coach years ago that didn't really emphasize that to a punter when Deshaun ran it back about 80 yards to beat us?
Well, afterwards he did. He yelled at him afterwards. And
he stood in the middle of the field and yelled at him. Yeah.
Anyway, your boy Curtis Riley, Bad Angle Riley, had an interception.
Well, in all fairness, Jerry, me and you could have had that interception.
I mean, Fitzpatrick literally threw a Hail Mary.
He looked like a center fielder, he looked like Jackie Bradley Jr. Notice the reference? I do. Yeah. On a fly ball.
I would have said Willie Mays, but whatever. Okay, it's fine.
Yeah, whatever. On a fly ball, waiting for it to come down, Yeah. So, but yeah, at least Riley caught it. And he had a nice return too, Curtis. I give him that. I was like, stay in the end zone.
Everybody was yelling at, stay in the end zone. Then he brought it out to about the 30 or 40.
So. Yeah, he actually had a nice return on it too, Curtis.
But, look, man, the defense is what it is, and they're going to have to get by. I'm just surprised that we're not seeing more blitzing. And I only say that because I know that he's not blitzing because of the weaker secondary, but to not blitz and not get a pass rush and then give the opposing quarterback 7 seconds to throw, I always think that's worse, man. I would at least try some blitzes here and there. I didn't notice any yesterday, nothing exotic. It was just everything seemed very vanilla. But I'm not crazy about the scheme. I know the talent's not there, but I don't know, man. I was expecting more from Betcher right now.
Yeah, he basically just goes with a 4-man rush, and he'll blitz a safety off a slot a few times. Yeah. Like he did it with Riley. He did it with Grant Haley yesterday. He did, a few blitzes, but nothing really, no really disguised blitzes, right? I'm very surprised. Basically it's a 4-man rush that doesn't get there. Winston destroyed him.
Before I forget, Curtis Riley, the fans are going to get mad. What the hell? Why was he staring at the ball in the end zone when it was fumbled? Like, just jump on it, man. What are you doing? So for the interception and the run back, that was nice. He just watched that fumble get recovered.
I didn't realize. You talk about the Winston fumble, I guess, in the end zone?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Joe. I did not see that. I didn't know why he was staring at it?
Yeah, he didn't jump on it right away. It was almost like in front of him, and he just stared at it. And then I don't know, did Evans recover? I forget who recovered it, but
Mike Evans recovered it. Yeah.
Yeah. So Riley did that wrong, but this defense is what it is, man. They're not talented. They don't have. I should say they don't have superior talent, right? There's no one that's going to come out and kind of lead them, and all of a sudden they're going to start looking like a top 15 defense. They are what they are. Vernon's really the only guy that you can depend on, but he's not having a good year, and so we're only going to go as far as the offense takes us now. So
imagine that.
I never thought I'd say that out loud.
I know.
Woo. But we're not going to get into the feathered helmet game yet because we're just going to talk about happy thoughts right now. We had our first home win. We're 3-7. We are 2 down out of 8. We have 6 more to go. Any final thoughts on what you saw yesterday or anything you wanted to bring up?
No, offensively, no. Listen, I guess we could just talk about – listen, Tampa Bay's got a good offense, but, 500 yards is ridiculous.
510.
510, yeah. I was just, rounding it off.
No, I know. I'm saying it's even worse than that. It's
I'm trying to ease the pain a little bit, 510 yards, is insane, and the turnovers is what won the game for them.
Right. If they don't get those turnovers, we lost that game.
We had the 4 interceptions we should have had 7 turnovers, Jerry, because there was 2 interceptions they should have had, right? Webb.
Yep. Yeah.
And the other one that was bouncing around, they should have had that interception. And then in a fumble by Winston, that obviously could have went our way too. So, but the interceptions definitely won the game for us. So that's the positive. The negative is that they gave up huge chunks of yardage, and the quarterback has all the time in the world to throw the ball.
Yep.
And O.J. Howard did some damage here in the second half. Evans was killing us. Cannot allow that, Jerry. Cannot allow Evans to get behind the defense, man, in that situation. That's just inexcusable. Inexcusable. So, and we gave up another 100-yard rusher.
Yeah, they gashed us. I mean, one thing, it's clear we miss snacks. I mean, we are getting gashed in the run now. Before, we could stop the run, and they were going to pass all over us. But now we're giving up both, which is, that's kind of a bad combination to give up both.
Yeah, and, Alec Ogletree he's just not playing the run well at all. He's not getting off blocks. He's taking wrong gap reads. And when he makes he missed 2 tackles yesterday. That enabled, Barber to gain even more yardage. When he's making some plays, he's getting pushed back like 7 yards. Then he makes the tackle, So, yeah, it's defensively, they just don't get to the quarterback, and that really hurts, Jerry. They just don't have a secondary to hold up, Jerry, 3-4 seconds.
What you just said about Ogletree reminds me of the old coach for the Bucs, John McKay, where he said, we can't stop the pass or the run. Otherwise, we're in great shape.
Yeah. And when you don't get to the quarterback, you're in trouble.
But, hey, man, we got to win. And I say we because all fans suffer with these teams. And you know what? Those of you at MetLife, it was actually loud. I was happy with the crowd performance and everything. So it was a great win. It was a good win. It was a win. Whatever. All wins are great. But like a lot of flaws to it, but we'll take it. 3-7 now. The season all of a sudden is meaningful with Washington losing Alex Smith for the year. That was a terrible injury. 33 years to the day with the same score that Lawrence Taylor broke Joe Theismann's leg. Now, the Giants did lose that game, but 23-21, 33 years to the day. That's creepy, man. That's crazy.
And how about and it was on the 40-yard line.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Unbelievable. That crazy. Crazy, very, very, very spooky, right?
And then spooky. Everybody loved that on Twitter. And then the feathered helmet unit, they looked awful. Now, again, we'll get into this. We'll get into it Thursday. Maybe we'll do one. We'll still do a podcast, hopefully on Thanksgiving. If we change it, we'll let you guys know. But they look pedestrian. The only hope you have is that they don't get mad and take it out on the Giants. But right now, they don't look like a Super Bowl team. They don't look like a playoff team. Dallas is the only team that looks hot right now, but can you trust Jason Garrett and Dak Prescott? I don't know, man. The offensive line looks good, and Zeke Elliott's running well, but nobody scares me in this division now. We can do this, and we'll see what happens, man. We'll see where this goes. But anyway, guys, thanks for listening. Be sure to
hold on.
What's up, buddy? What's up?
For everybody listening out there. Just to show you the dedication of Jerry Foley. Today is his birthday. Happy birthday, pal.
Thank you. Once you're not 21, it's not that big of a deal anymore. However, thank you. And I scarfed down my wife's chicken cacciatore and a homemade cake. So just to get to this podcast. So
I want to wish you a happy birthday, and you showed your dedication once again to Big Blue coming on the podcast on your birthday night. And happy birthday! I hope you had a good day, and I hope you ate well. It sounds like you ate well. Your wife went all out.
Yeah, like it's birthday, so I ate well. Hopefully, get lucky tonight. So anyway, guys, thank you. Be sure to order your copy of the Giant Insider News. It's not luck. I just show up and it happens. Anyway, be sure to order your copy of the Giant Insider newspaper. Go to www.giantinsider.com or visit magster.com for a digital subscription. That's magzter.com. Yearly subscriptions are $39.95 for paper copies, and the digital version is only $17. So we've actually had more people subscribing lately, so thank you very much. I think the podcast is helping. It's 14 issues a year. We're bi-weekly during the season and monthly in the off-season. The next podcast, I think we'll do Thanksgiving night, unless Chris and I eat too much turkey and drink too much wine, which is November 22nd, Thursday at 8 p.m., where we will preview, and hopefully we don't throw up, we'll preview the feathered helmet game coming this Sunday. I will up my blood pressure medication and cholesterol so that we can get through this, because this next week is going to be horrible. Oh, just the anticipation of losing to those scumbags.
Whoa!
So, anyway.
It makes me sick to even have to go down to that stadium and sit in it.
I can't believe you asked for the press pass. It's just shocking. And Pat, I mean, I'm sure Pat Hanlon was like, "You want to go? Sure, take it." I mean,
I want to see the look on the Eagle fans' faces when the Giants drive the final nail in the coffin for their season.
Oh, God, you're the man, buddy. But thanks everyone for listening to the Giant Insider Podcast. I'm Jerry Foley. He's Chris Bisignano. And remember, guys, Sundays are Giant days. Take care, everyone.
Take care, everybody.